this pole. Okay. There we go. There's a leopard in the lodge there. That's Tingana. Going up into the room, folks. Look at that. That is room 11 of Chitwa Lodge. Tingana pays a bed night rate. He gets it for free, in fact. And he gets to eat and dine and drink at leisure.
Many guests as he wants.
Nikki's saying it could be Hosana. Nix is very good at her ID. Fantastic. So you see how important it is to listen to the birds, folks. Now he's walking around the back of the room there. I don't know how we're going to find him again. Maybe we can get around on the other side. But I said to Ferg a moment ago, we're coming down to Chitwa. We're going to find ourselves a leopard. And look at that, Fergus. Not even 5 minutes later. I think it is indeed the little prince, the little chief. What a marvelous visual. It didn't have a big dewlap, Nix is saying, and he almost had a really nice golden color. When we've seen Tingana of late, to me he looks a little bit more washed than Hosana, who seems to have like the unwashed sort of version. A lot more golden color. I have no idea if we can actually get around there. Maybe we'll come around onto the road and see. Maybe he'll come out and have a look. Fergus, good job. So my opinion is that call of the guinea fowls, you can hear it now. Or they're going to stop. They're going to stop now, of course. The leopard is gone. There are no guests in the room there that we could see. I wasn't trying to look at them, but they're probably out on game drive looking for a spotted cat, and there's one busy trying to look at them through the window.
They maybe left the TV on Animal Planet. National Geographic.
Ferg says they probably left the TV on National Geographic, or they are watching Safari Live. He was watching himself there for a moment. How marvelous, marvelous. So guinea fowl, in my opinion, in the mornings or in the daytime, that cackling call, very, very reliable for a predator. When you hear it late afternoon, they're trying to get them back together sort of call. So not so reliable, I find, sort of as the sun is setting. But I've found many a lion and a leopard. Here he is. Woo! Woo! Sorry, Molly, I'll come back to your question now. We have found him. He is in the road, and it is indeed the little chief. Hello, my boy. I'm just going to call it in on the radio, folks, because everyone is obviously very excited to find an animal this morning. Oh, hello, my young sir. Good morning. Good morning. Have you just woken up? Okay, so I'm just going to let people know that I found him, because I think people are struggling to find cats this morning. If I can get a gap on the radio, people are having a nice chat. We'll stay with him? Yes?
Yes.
Shall we?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, there we go. It's always Ferg and myself. Good vibes, and you are rewarded with good vibes. We have found our cat. I think viewers are getting a little bit nervous there. We won't find a leopard today, but never fear. Fergus and I are on it. I'm just going to use the radio now for a moment, folks, if you do forgive me. The station is located Hosana Mobile North west away from room 11 on Chitwa. Is just sort of north of the power lines. Whew, very exciting. Now I wait to hear how many people are going to come running and shouting in my ear. Okay, well, let's go back over to Tristan, who apparently is with my Impala. Thank you very much, Tristan. I wonder if that impala is officially cold now. But something that is not cold is this beautiful young male leopard. My favorite character in Djuma, even though we are in Chitwa at the moment. He's doing the typical leopard activity now of standing on a termite mound, listening. I don't know if he's physically seen anything or if he's maybe heard something there. But he's definitely interested in something. But I think he's going to play the patience game. Look at that. Isn't that marvelous? He's really enjoying his time in and around Chitwa. Sharon, if Hosana had approached, I'm just going to move up, Ferg, onto the side. Is that okay? If guests had been in the lodge themselves, he probably wouldn't have come as close to the door. And if they were and had a look at him out the window, nothing, absolutely nothing would have happened. This cat is quite a relaxed cat when it comes to people. How's that, Ferg? They would have had an experience of a lifetime, is what they would have had. I mean, he's not out to hunt people. It's not what he's looking for. I think he might have even seen his reflection in the mirror. Who knows? Or in the window. Or maybe, as Ferg said, they were in fact watching National Geographic or Safari Live. And he saw mention of himself. Maybe he could hear the guinea fowl alarm calling live on the TV screen and thought they were inside. Who knows what's going through the cat's mind? But he's definitely alert. You can see the posturing. There are always impala and small animals in and around Chitwa Dam. We're not far from the dam itself right now, probably about half a mile at the most, not even, I'd say less than that. I can just hear the hippo in the background. Victoria, the ticks most certainly will bother them. They bother me as well. You get very itchy after a tick bite, and if they do come across a tick, they're able to grab it or pinch it out, then they will do so. But they're not able to get all of them. Some of them get quite sort of embedded or lodged in the head or in areas where they can't really get too much access. You can see one on the back of the ear, and what it leads to is just very, very itchy sort of areas that they have to scratch. Most animals out here are perpetually scratching themselves. Buffalo love to find a branch to scratch. We've had giraffe also climbing over small bushes to sort of scratch their undercarriage where the tick infestation seemed to be at the worst. And if you've ever had a tick bite, you'll know that it is ridiculously itchy, and it's itchy for about 2 weeks. Sort of a bad mosquito bite that doesn't stop itching. But, you know, you learn to live with it. It just becomes sort of part and parcel with living out here. Rhine leopards will groom themselves quite regularly. I mean, after they've had a kill or fed, they will clean themselves. After there's been some rain, they'll probably clean themselves. Whenever they're sort of in periods of inactivity, when they may be lying down, having a rest, maybe just before having a bit of a nap, or maybe before moving off. Excuse me, I'm being called. Standing by. Yeah, I'm just by the power lines from room 11. I think it's just before the turn off to the drainage that takes you onto Shorombe Road. I'm just north of that. Yeah, he's currently stationary on a termite mound. I am visible from the road. I've got the power lines just sort of to the left of me on my southern side. Okay. Okay, copy. He's coming right towards me. He wants to come and say hello to all of you viewers back home. Hello, my beautiful boy. Isn't he a magnificent specimen of a leopard? absolutely gorgeous. He's been moving and jumping on logs, and he's definitely in search of something. He's definitely looking. Apologies for anything at the back of our vehicle now, but the various things in the way. But there he is moving. Seems to be smelling and picking up any sort of scent on the ground. We're not sure what he might be smelling, but we'll keep with him because the wind is quite low. There's not too much in the way of air movement to indicate the presence of any herbivore animals or prey animals nearby. As we try and navigate around this beautiful big termite mound. And we have our roof on, so it does sometimes make some of these off-road excursions a little bit tricky. But no injuries of yet, but we are about to bypass a very nice buffalo thorn, and Ferg is now looking at me with wide eyes. Are you going to manage, Ferg? Are we going to manage? Are you sure? Okay, we are going to manage. No, I don't think we are, Ferg. That is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Tristan, I hope you managed to find whatever it is that's causing the alarm calls in the drainage depression there. You are an expert finder of leopards. But this morning, Ferg and I have trumped you, and we have found the little chief who is moseying along. You can see there's definitely interest in his eyes. He's probably quite hungry. He doesn't look like he's eaten. His belly doesn't look full. But he's also sniffing. He's sniffing quite deliberately. Or maybe he's trying to track a steenbok or a duiker through the vegetation here. They do sort of have a scent to them, and they'll quite often use very similar pathways. And maybe he's learnt that. And he's learnt that if he just sticks his nose to the ground and follows these small little pathways that the duiker use, he might be lucky. He's right in front of the car there, folks. He's just done a little bit of a bolt to get past the front, but completely relaxed, as you can see over my shoulder there. What a marvelous specimen. You can see how his nose is to the ground. He's definitely smelling. And now is he having a toilet stop there? It looks like he might be. He's having a little listen as well. Let's just listen and see if we can hear what he's hearing. Okay, so there's not too much in the way of noises nearby. So now he's going to go back to his nostrils. What are you smelling, my boy? Potty time for Hosana. I mean, I'm also thinking he might be trying to ferret out a scrub hare, because he's been sticking his nose into lots of little bushes. As James was showing you last night how camouflaged the hares are. If they don't move, they're invisible. So you probably smell one. Romit, leopard and his whiskers are so important for how far away they move, and I know that. What have you got there?
He's doing another poop.
Oh, he's having another toilet stop. Is he scent marking there, Ferg?
Sure, it does look like
Looks like he's scratching his back legs. What a naughty young fellow. But he might be getting comfortable, Nick says. Well, let's move up. Gromit, you want to know about whiskers and leopards? Will it make a difference? What I know with domestic cats is that the whiskers actually enable them to know exactly how narrow a gap is, and it gives them all sorts of sensory cues when they're moving at night with regards to just all sorts of things we can't even probably put our finger on, most of them. I think that the whiskers in leopards are very, very important, instrumental, in fact, in a lot of what they do. They've got the scent smell, but the whiskers they give them a sort of a sense of space and what they can. Ferg, you've got a praying mantis attacking you on the camera. Have you noticed that? Wow, look at this little guy. Come here, fella. Okay, we'll leave him. He's enjoying the fluffy speaker bit on top of the camera. Oh, he's the focus puller. Ferg is praying for better luck this morning. So, Gromit, I'm pretty sure that the whiskers, if the leopard lost his whiskers, it would make a huge difference. I mean, I'm trying to think of all the other purposes of whiskers. I know domestic cats, the whiskers enable them they know exactly what size gap they're going through. They're quite sensitive to all sorts of things out there that I don't even think we quite understand. You know, there are fish that's like a barbel, or what we call them catfish, that have also got whiskers and enables them to see through the dark and to filter through the dark in the muddy waters underneath. That enables them to hunt and to find whatever it is they're looking for. Navigation, a lot of birds at night, birds like nightjars. Okay, Hosana, you're going to show us a very nice view of yourself up on top. Oh, he's got his ears flat, folks. Just going to switch off right here and see what it is he spotted. I'll come back to more questions there. Sorry about the power lines in the back there. That is the electricity point for Chitwa. Get a nice vantage point when they get on a termite mound like this. Now, I can't see anything, Ferg, can you? David, that's a very good question. I think Hosana, if he came across another young leopard, would most likely stand his ground. I think we've seen it with Tumba, where he actually fought him. It's all about size. He sees the other male and he thinks he's got a similar sort of size to him, or maybe a little bit bigger, then he'll definitely stand his ground. But as soon as he sees a bigger male, he will act submissive and act as if he has not seen, or pretend that he's not trying to invade or to be any sort of nuisance. I can't see anything, but he's definitely got intention for the moment. So I'm not going to move, folks, until he changes his behavior, so as not to give away his presence or to startle whatever it is he might be looking at. Oh, he's looking left and right now. I don't think he's seen anything. He's looking for movement, though. You know, we talk about the eyes of cats and how they see black and white. They see shapes as well. Primarily what they see is shapes. They get a search image, and that's why a lot of the animals' behavior out here, the prey animals, is to stand very still with all sorts of disruptive patterns and colors and markings and fur on their body, which breaks up their outline. And he's looking into the distance. The wind is gently coming from that way, so maybe he can smell something, but he hasn't quite seen it yet. Okay, there we go. He's hunkering down for a more relaxed pose. So now we can go forward and get a nice shot of him without the power lines being